Welcome to the seminar on a 3D shear wave velocity model for Myanmar region. I am Shriram Rawat, currently pursuing integrated MTech in geophysical technology at IIT Roorkee. Let's first understand why 3D shear wave velocity model is important in Myanmar region. Myanmar is situated to the east of the Indian plate on the southwestern margin of the Eurasian plate. Occupies an important geological position to understand the tectonic evolution of the Indo-Eurasian collision system. Myanmar is also a country threatened by a high level of seismic hazards. Thus, a better understanding of the crustal scale velocity structure of Myanmar could have major impact in unraveling the regional tectonics, improving the quality of seismological studies, that is earthquake hypocenter determination, focal mechanism inversion and a ground motion simultaneation, and potentially help to migrate the seismic hazard and risk in this area. And also, tectonics of Myanmar are a result of the collision between the Indian and Eurasian plate, which began approximately 15 million years ago. The entire region is mainly composed by a series of elongated, north-south oriented tectonic blocks, including the Indo-Burman Ranges (IBR), the Central Myanmar Basin (CMB), and the Shan-Thang Block. So, in this study, they obtain a station-based 1D velocity model beneath each station using a joint inversion of receiver functions, h by v amplitude ratio of railway waves, and h by v ratio, and the surface wave dispersion SWD measurements. They interpolate our station-based 1D velocity profiles to obtain an integrated 3D velocity model from South Bangladesh to Myanmar. This is an overview map of a study region showing simplified geological units, major faults and seismicity. The color triangle shows the seismic station used in these studies. Seismic station configuration and sensor misorientation. In this study, they used seismic data collected from 56 regional broadband stations in and around Myanmar, including 34 stations operated by the US and 22 stations downloaded from the Incorporated Research Institute for Seismology database. Then they analyzed waveform data recorded by the EOS Myanmar network between July 2017 and April 2018 and by the Tremble network between June 2016 and December 2017. Before the joint inversion, they inspect and correct the sensor misorientation using the P-wave particle motion method because the both RF and H by V ratio of relative studies strongly depend on accurate orientation of the horizontal components. This example is showing the detection and correction of sensor misorientation for station M003. In figure A, they show the earthquake distribution used in this analysis. In figure B, misorientation angle is determined by the minimizing the summed energy of the transverse component. And figure C is the result from the single earthquake data. And figure D relative records on vertical, that is in black, and phase delayed radial components are shown in red. Data analysis. For image subsurface velocity structure, they invert RF waveforms H by V ratio and SWD measurements. The RF waveforms are particularly powerful for capturing sharp velocity contrast between neighboring levels beneath a station, while the SWD and H by V ratio are more sensitive to the absolute velocity structure over a certain range of depth. A joint inversion of these complementary dataset can reduce uncertainties and produce more reliable velocity models. Then they use a trans-dimensional Markov-Chain-Monte Carlo Bayesian approach to simultaneously invert RF's H by V ratio and SWD measurement to obtain a crustal scale 1D velocity model below each station. Receiver function data processing or RF data processing. The P-wave RFs are time series obtained by deconvolving the vertical components from the radial components of teleseismic P waves, which contains the arrival time and amplitude information of converted phase produced by velocity interfaces beneath the seismic station. Stacking RFS from large number of teleseismic events improves the signal-to-noise ratio of the converted phase, and their multiples inverting the stacked RF waveforms can therefore provide constraints on the velocity structure beneath the station. They obtain radial RFS by using a time-domain iterative deconvolution technique with a Gaussian low-pass filter. Then they normalize the radial RF by the maximum amplitude of the vertical RF, which is obtained by deconvoluting the vertical components by itself to obtain the true RF amplitude, and discard those RFs that have large coda amplitude after the first P arrival, and also they visually inspect the results to improve the bad RFS for which their waveforms are not coherent with each other. This example illustrating the RFS data processing for station EW04 and EW07. In figure A, they show the earthquake distribution. In figure B, they show stacking RFS bounded by 95% confidence level estimated by bootstrapping method. In figure C, the RF waveform have been stacked by epicentral distance and back azimuth. And in figure DEF, this is same as ABC, but this for a station EW07. Measurement of H by V ratio. The H by V ratio, also called the Rayleigh wave ellipticity, is defined as the amplitude ratio between the radial and the vertical components of Rayleigh wave measured at various frequencies. Similar to RF, the H by V ratio is also a station-based measurement. It is particularly sensitive to a shallow velocity structure beneath the station. They measure the H by V ratio at each station following the procedure proposed by Sanneto and Rivera in 2008. They briefly describe the key data processing step. For each station, we collect waveforms from shallow earthquakes that have magnitude greater than 5.5 and are located at epicentral distances between 20 to 120 degree. Then they remove the instrumental response, subtract the mean and linear trends of the seismograms, and decimate the sampling interval to 1 second. Then they filter the radial and vertical components by a series of narrowband phase match Gaussian filter within the central frequency varying from 25 to 75 seconds. These frequency bands provide strong constraints on the velocity structure in the basin and the crust. Then they apply the Hilbert transform to the radial component to correct the Rayleigh wave phase shift between the vertical and radial components before calculating the CCC between them. The H by V ratio at each frequency band is obtained by using the maximum amplitude of the envelopes of the vertical and radial components. This example shows the steps of data processing for H by V ratio. In figure A, it shows the earthquake used in this example. In figure B, measurements and associated uncertainties of H by V ratio obtained using all the earthquakes recorded by the station EW04, and top panel indicate the number of earthquakes used for this station. In figure C, they show long period 3 component seismic waveforms. In figure D, they show H by V ratio analysis. Black line shows narrowband filter and red line shows phase delayed radial components. The Rayleigh wave phase velocity measurement. The above mentioned RF and H by V ratio are station-based measurement and can be combined to constrain the velocity structure beneath a station in joint inversion. However, Chong showed that this kind of joint inversion only provides limited constraints on the absolute velocity. Complementary Rayleigh wave phase velocity dispersion measurement are more sensible to the absolute velocity and also include the phase velocity of Rayleigh waves in our joint inversion. Then they measure the phase velocities of Rayleigh waves at various frequencies using the automated surface wave phase velocity measuring system proposed by Jin and Gadri in 2015. The automated surface wave velocities measuring system measures the phase delay between station pairs view cross correlation of fundamental mode surface waves from the earthquakes. The data processing includes two key steps. First, they obtain the phase delay for certain periods by cross-correlating the waveforms between two stations. Second, They combined phase delays measured for different periods to invert the 2D phase velocities map using Econol and Helmholtz tomography method. These are phase velocity maps for different frequency bands derived from earthquake tomography, and they also shows different phase velocities at different time and frequency. Joint inversion through a transdimensional Bison approach. In this section, they show how the 1D shear wave velocity model beneath each station is obtained by jointly inverting the RFS, H/V ratio, and SWD measurement through a transdimensional MCMC Bison approach. This figure shows synthetic test for a joint inversion. In figure A, synthetic seismograms with noise added is shown. In figure B, synthetic RF waves are shown. In figure C, the H by V ratio and SWD fits where the square and circle indicate the H by V ratio and SWD measurements. In figure D, they obtain the posterior mean velocity models for the two inversions are shown in black and blue, and the input velocity model is shown in black. Velocity profile beneath each station. The resulting velocity profile beneath different stations show a highly variable crustal structure in Myanmar region for both the shallow sedimentary structure and the Moho depth. At shallow depths, the station-based velocity models show excellent correlation with the surface geology. All of these stations are located within the Bengal Basin and IBR, and the thickness of low velocity layer decreases from west to the east. Judging from the depth of low velocity zone and eastward thinning and dipping features, so this suggests that this low velocity zone might represent the downgoing Bengal Basin sediments carried by the oblique subduction process between the Indian and the Burma plate along the very gentle subduction interface. They also observe a clear shear wave velocity jump from 3.5 to 4.5 km per second at the depth range of 30 to 40 km corresponding to the Moho interface between the crust and the upper mantle. The average Moho depth beneath the CMB is 30 km and jump to 35 km in STB. This figure shows velocity profiles from joint inversion for each station projected into symmetric tectonic profiles. The width of the bar graphs beneath the stations are narrowed below the eastern Bengal Basin in profile A to accommodate the dense station. Constructing an integrated 3D velocity model. Interpolating the station-based 1D velocity profiles to construct an integrated 3D velocity model, which is essentially for a series of seismological studies. For example, earthquake location determination and focal mechanism inversion. They use a hybrid approach that integrates our preferred 1D velocity profiles and the global crust 1.0 model to construct a 3D velocity model. The integrated 3D velocity model named Myanmar Hybrid version 1 has been resolution within central Myanmar where we have a denser stational distribution than in other model regions. Map view of the shear wave velocity at different depth in 3D model. The red polygon indicates our hybrid approach where the inner and outer of the polygon are mainly constructed from our station-based 1D velocity profiles and crest 1.0 model respectively. And this map also shows the variation of velocity with a depth. At shallowest point like at depth of 3.3 kilometers, there is very low velocity in that region. But as the depth increases, our velocity also increases. At depth of 40 kilometers, the velocity tends to 5 kilometers per second. Conclusion. They estimate 1D station-based shear wave velocity beneath 56 stations in and around Myanmar through joint inversion of RFS, H by V ratio and SWD measurement using a transdimensional MCMC Bison approach. The resulting velocity profile beneath each station show highly variable crystal structure across Myanmar. At shallow depth, their models show excellent correlation with the surface geology and reveals the first order basin geometry, which has depth up to 15 km of sediment. At greater depth, they find the Moho depth is around 30 km beneath the CMP, while there is a significant Moho offset across the sagging Shan fault system in central Myanmar, where the depth increased from 30 to 35 km under the STB. Their preferred velocity model provides a preliminary community velocity model for the region, which can be used for a variety of seismological and geological applications and investigation. Thank you for watching this video. If you like the video, please click the like button. Thank you.